Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the overgrown and, honestly, deeply tragic layers of Darkroot Garden. We're going to start things off with some very tangible gameplay secrets hidden right there in the brush, and then end on a heartbreaking, time-bending tragedy that's going to completely shift how you view this iconic location.
We're actually bypassing our usual agenda today, because this area, it's a literal iceberg of secrets, and the discoveries start right at the surface. If you're out exploring near the sealed crest gate, you might notice this ominous, seemingly solid wall. Give it a good hit, and it completely vanishes to reveal a hidden bonfire. This is your gateway to a completely optional but highly rewarding detour. Okay, let's dive into exactly how this works. Just past that hidden bonfire, you're going to see a tree that's moving suspiciously. Turns out, it's possessed. Attack it to clear the path, and suddenly you've got access to a secret grove. Now, you got to be careful here. This area is guarded by massive great stone knights and these really sneaky tree lizards. If you're patient and lure those lizards out one by one, you can safely navigate your way to the ultimate prize. And that prize is the Wolf Ring. If you're running a tanky, sturdy character build, this thing is an absolute must-have. It significantly boosts your poise. Basically, what that means is when you're winding up for a huge, heavy swing, an enemy strike isn't going to interrupt you. It lets you trade blows right in the thick of it and still come out on top.
That brings us to Section 1, the Forest Hunters, protecting the graves. Because Darkroot is way more than just a spot to snag hidden loot. It is actually a heavily guarded, sacred graveyard, overseen by a giant, ancient feline named Alvina.
If you find Alvina hanging out in her stone window and you agree to her terms, you officially join the Forest Hunters. She hooks you up with the Cat Covenant ring. When you equip this, you're placed into a queue, and Alvina will magically summon you to invade the worlds of any non-Covenant players who have the guts to trespass in her forest.
And looking at this really illustrates why this anything goes PvP zone is so wildly popular. Just check out those drop rates. Defeating intruders rewards you with randomized, highly valuable upgrade materials. You can easily farm chunks and shards right here, making it just a fantastic early game covenant if you're trying to level up your gear. The best part? You don't even need to land the killing blow to get the credit. If the host happens to die to the environment, or maybe another invader while you're just standing there, it counts. After just 3 successful intruder deaths on your watch, Alvina rewards you with the stealthy Ring of Fog. You definitely gotta tread lightly, though. If you accidentally clip a forest NPC with a swing, or if you answer no to Alvina's very first question, you trigger some incredibly severe betrayal penalties. The Forest Hunters will instantly start hunting you, and Alvina will just vanish. Fixing a mistake like that requires a very costly sin absolution from Oswald up in the bell tower. So yeah, be careful where you swing. So moving on to Section 2, the tragedy of Sif, the Great Grey Wolf. What exactly are these hunters protecting so fiercely deep in the garden? Well, it's the grave of Sir Artorias, guarded by his massive, fiercely loyal partner, the Great Grey Wolf, Sif. Approaching that grave triggers a seriously intense battle. Sif is literally wielding Artorias' greatsword in her mouth. To survive this one, you can't just stand back. You have to lock on and boldly roll directly underneath her front legs. It's pretty much the only reliable way to dodge her devastating 360-degree sword spins, which, by the way, will utterly crush your stamina if they connect. But man, this fight isn't just physically demanding, it is emotionally brutal. As her health bar drops down to the brink of death, Sif's attacks actually start to slow down. She begins to limp pitifully, literally stumbling under the sheer weight of that sword. And the game doesn't give you a mercy option here. You're forced into the agonizing reality that Sif must be killed for you to progress your journey. To really understand why this is so tragic, we look at Section 3, the time-bending twist 300 years in the past. See, Darkroot Garden is actually hiding a massive geographical secret that completely recontextualizes the entire game, and especially that fight with Sif. Players who used map explorers realized something absolutely mind-blowing. The game's DLC area, the Royal Woods of Oolacile, isn't just a random new location. It is, quite literally, Darkroot Garden, just set 300 years in the past. The geography matches up perfectly. That little stream you cross in the past, well, it erodes over centuries to become the deep river where the Hydra lives in the present day. Even the ruined buildings with the descending elevators in Oolacile align flawlessly with the stone ruins where Alvina sits right now.
Knowing that little secret, the history really falls into place. Centuries ago, the people of the golden, magic-filled city of Oolacile made a fatal error. They upturned the grave of primeval man, awakening a terrifying being named Manus. This unleashed an unstoppable dark abyss that rapidly corrupted the townsfolk and the land itself.
Which brings us to Section 4, The True Hero, a fabricated legend. Now, present-day history tells us that the great knight Artorias sacrificed his life to valiantly stop this abyss and save Princess Dusk. But here's the jaw-dropping reality. That truth? It's a total lie. When you actually travel to the past, you discover Artorias didn't stop the abyss at all. He was completely overcome and corrupted by it. With his arm broken and his sanity slipping away, his final, desperate, lucid act was to leave his magical great shield behind. He used it to form a protective barrier around his young companion, Sif, saving her from the encroaching dark. So, the really crucial point to grasp here is this. It was actually you. You, the time-traveling player, are the one who stepped into the abyss. You defeated the corrupted Artorias, you vanquished Manus, you halted the spread of the dark, and you were the one who rescued Princess Dusk. So why on earth does Artorias get all the credit? Well, because Elizabeth the Mushroom and Alvina the Cat deliberately fabricated the entire legend. They did it to hide your temporal involvement, sure, but more importantly, they wanted to protect the fallen knight's legacy from desecration. They ensured he'd be remembered as a hero rather than a corrupted monster.
And oh man, this sets up some crushing dramatic irony. If you play the DLC first, meaning you travel to the past, find the young puppy Sif hiding behind Artorias' shield and save her, and then go fight her in the present day, you unlock a hidden, absolutely heartbreaking cutscene. She pins you to the ground, totally ready to kill, but suddenly stops. She recognizes your scent.
She remembers that you're the hero who saved her all those centuries ago. She lets out this incredible howl of absolute sorrow, and then reluctantly picks up the sword. See, she isn't fighting you out of malice. She knows you're trying to take the ring to traverse the abyss yourself, and she's desperately fighting to stop you from suffering the exact same horrific fate her master did. You are forced to strike down a loyal, ancient friend who is literally only trying to protect you from the dark. It is such a masterful piece of storytelling, and it really leaves you looking at your own actions, wondering, in our quest for power and truth, are we actually the heroes here, or are we just the tragic villains of Sif's story? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.